All right, so I'm gonna take a little pause here, and I'm gonna talk about a board that I actually already talked about about 2 years ago, like summer of 2020. Remember 2020? No, I don't either. So I'm gonna talk about this board again because I got some things wrong. And I have a little more things to add to the discussion. So let's grab this thing over here. Okay, so I've got the year right this time. This is a circa 1982 Steve Caballero model. And this is of significance to me because this was my second Caballero board that I ever had. And I had the orange one that I was given to for Christmas in 1981, and then the next year I got this one. So we'll take a brief talk of this. And so for people that collectors out there that might not have seen that last one, yes, it's the one with the bearing. And the bearing graphic, the original one, as you can tell, his name is not very legible within the bearing, and that's why the subsequent model, they took the bearing portion out so that you can see his name better. But I like this one, because this is the one that made me want to skate. So a little backstory about this board and why I ended up with. So I'm riding the orange one through 1982, the first part of 82, and then the summer of 1982, Steve Caballero came down for a contest at Skate City, Whittier, and I went up there with Tony Hawk to watch the contest, and Stevie was riding this board here. I will hold it up, try not to get the glare of the lights. Nice and close for you guys. Yes, white, red dragon. And so I simply had to have that. He's got those expensive yellow trucks there. I couldn't get those. But, so I went in to get this exact setup later in the year, fall of 82 probably. I wanted the blue wheels like he has, but they didn't have them. They were out of stock. So I ended up with white ones, which were so fast. I remember how fast they were because they were way faster than the green cubic 3s that I had been riding for a year or so at the park and on the street and everything. So they were kind of tore up. So the white mini cubic V4, whatever 5.4 V4 mini cubics were what I had on this board. So the backstory of this board here is that, so I had it, and then the following year, when I bought one of Tony Hawk's first boards, I had this board. I was riding it kind of around the street for a while, but then when I switched everything, because obviously I only had one set of trucks and one set of wheels, so this board was there, and a buddy of mine says, hey, you could probably sell that, and it was pretty worn out. It was beat up, and I was like, well, I guess. And I sold it for like $10 probably, and got some lunch money, and it went away. So that was sometime in 83-ish. Fast forward to 1985, and I'm at that point riding for Powell. And I'm at the park one day, and I see this kid riding this board at the reservoir right at the front of the park. And I see it across the way, and I see this sticker here. And it says, I was there, and you weren't. Rusty Harris Pro-Am, August 27th to 29th, 1982, Del Mar Skate Ranch. And so I got that sticker at the contest, promptly put it right there on my board. So when I saw this board across the way, saw the sticker placement of that, knowing that little kid probably did not go to that contest, I thought, I think that's my board. And I got a closer look, and I was like, yeah, that's my board. Because this is one of the first big contests I went to. It's actually, I think, the second Pro-Am Del Mar contest that I attended at Del Mar. so I just recognized the sticker placement. They had kind of put some other stuff on the grip tape, but I knew it was mine. So, I promptly approached the kid. I say, hey, that's my board. And he got scared. He's like, no, I bought it from a kid. It's mine. I go, no, you don't understand. It's like, that used to be my board. And he's still kind of confused by me approaching him. And so I said, look, I will give you the board I'm riding, and I'll trade you for that board because I wanted it back. And he didn't believe me, and so I said, okay, we'll go in the pro shop, and I will take my board apart, take yours apart, put them back together with your trucks on my new board, which is a fairly new Lance Mountain board from that time with the layback air, so early one. And I traded him for my second Caballero board. And he thought it was crazy. But I had to have it because not only was this the second Caballero board I had, this was also the board I rode in my very first contest at Del Mar Skate Ranch, of course, probably in the fall of 1982, because I would have seen Stevie riding this colorway at Skate City in summer, so probably October-ish. I don't remember the exact date, but I do have this. My first place trophy, Castle plaque. So my first contest ever on this board, first place. Woo! And it was all downhill from there. But yeah, I got to skate against friends, basically people that would become friends of mine. Terrence Yoshizawa was in my heat, and Terrence is Lester Kasai's cousin, but Terrence is also one of the first guys that kind of got me playing guitar, so thank you, Terrence, for that. So we were good friends. We hung out a lot. And then also a gentleman by the name of Bill Dorr, D-O-H-R. And Bill Dorr was kind of known as Old Man Bill, and I think, although he looked older, I think he was about my age. I think he was about 55. But he looked a little more road weary because I think he spent a lot of times outdoors. So Bill Dorr was in my heat too, but yeah, Old Man Bill, great guy. I miss him. Rest in peace, Bill. But he looked really old to us, and we were always scared that he was going to get hurt. But he ripped. He went really fast. And I think Dave Duncan was in my contest too. 1A, whatever, 14 to 17, I think was what it was. And yeah, I was really nervous because at that time I could not drop in from the top. I started from the entrance, and everyone else in the heat started from the deck. So I thought, well, there goes my chances. But I had enough tricks, and oddly enough, I could do backside airs above the top. I know, couldn't drop in because it was a mental block thing, but I could do airs out. But I kind of described my style of that time as the dojo of the deflating tire. So meaning carve, backside air, mute air, indie air, invert, and I just kind of eventually end up at the very bottom at the end of my run. Yes, the deflating tire. It's a rare, seldom seen style, but it still garnered me the first place plaque, so I'm happy with that. Yeah. So the other things that I can tie in though is so the contest was part of the Rusty Harris series featured in this magazine. Yes. Very excited to see the home park in the magazine, and having been there, and being very excited to have been part of skateboarding history. Let's find the beginning of the article. It's right here somewhere. Here it is. Woohoo! Young Christian Asoy, still riding for Sims with the Rising Sun. Yeah, so that's Tony. Sequence of a Caballero, thank you 360 Ollie. This, I believe, I could be wrong. I think that this contest in 1982 was Tony Hawk's very first win. So his first place. I'm pretty sure I have a video or Super 8 film of this gentleman. This is William Beauregard. Rode for Veriflex out of Florida. Amazing skateboarder. Really incredible skateboarder. But there is some Super 8 film. If you go to my YouTube channel, which I think you could just find it under Adrian Domain, even though it's YouTube/Rudy Calistoga. Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch the Hawk versus Wolf thing about that. But there is some Super 8 film that could be from this contest, I think. It's either that or the year after. I don't know. Really nice big picture of Billy Ruff ruling at the time. Big Leonaire. Yes, Leon. L-I-E-N for Neil Blunder spelled backwards. Here it is. Young Anthony Frank Hawk. And the caption says, Chris Miller checks Tony Hawk's helmet for ego bumps moments after the announcement of Tony's win. So I think this is Tony's first pro contest win. So yeah, see, there's all kinds of really important things about that sticker for me. Yeah, so I'm glad to have that back. And, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Years ago, I thought about restoring it. Well, not restoring it, but putting trucks and wheels on it that were like that. But instead, I just stick it out in the garage. I'll put it up on the wall at some point. Side note, unrelated to all that, let's talk about this here. So this issue of Thrasher is from October 1982. Buck 25 gets to this one. Rodney Mullen on the cover, doing a flat ground ollie. That's right. Coming up on 40 years ago, flat ground ollie. So the flat ground ollie is just kind of nothing now. That's just everybody you learn to ollie and there you go. But an ollie this high on the flat ground was simply unheard of in 1982. So much so that when the issue came out, all the skaters at my high school, so me and Dwight, I can't say his name, Sanguine, Dwight Sanguine, who was my hero at the time because he could skate better than all of us, and Mike Gonzalez, all of us, that was our whole crew, because Dennis Ferranda was too young. He was 4 years younger than us. But when this came out, me and Dwight and Mike were looking at this, and I said, that's an ollie. That's an ollie on the flat ground. And Dwight was like, I don't think so. That's really high. And he was certain that Rodney had ridden off this statue or something, was like coming down off the statue. And I was like, no. He's ollieing on the ground, 2.5 feet high into the air. And it was a heated debate. And but I was right. That is a gigantic flat ground ollie for October 1982. Yes, Rodney Mullen, we would be nowhere without you, for sure. But anyway, that is the fun stuff for today. I know I kind of regurgitating a little bit, but also, if you won't go back a couple of years, you'll find that I was wrong about some of that stuff. But anyway, yeah, happy to have this board. Okay, I'll put this back.